Hey everyone, it's Laurie from Wandering Grace Farm. I was doing some meal prepping in my kitchen and I needed a rotisserie chicken. So after I did that, I'm left with the bones. So I thought, why not make some chicken broth with everybody with these leftover bones? And to this pot, I am gonna add all of these bones. Okay. And I generally am a vegetable saver, so if there's an overabundance that I know I'm not going to use, I put it in the freezer. So an example is these are bell peppers, and then like I have half of an onion, so I'm going to chop that up and put it in here, and then just whatever I can grab. I try to save vegetable scraps and have a bag going in my freezer at all times. Last time that I made this, I thought I was grabbing this bag with bell peppers. It was not, it was jalapeno peppers, and I added a lot. So the last batch that I made was super spicy, and it is so potent that I just add half a cup to very large quantities of other broth that I make. So I will not make that mistake this time. So I am going to just get started on chopping up a couple things to dump into this crock pot. Okay, the bones are in the crock pot. And then here is my bowl of just random things. So I've got onion, I've got some celery, I have those bell peppers, some carrots. These are some more bell peppers. These were just things from the garden that I wasn't going to use right away, but I knew would be great in a broth. So it all just gets dumped right into this pot. I also have 5 cloves of garlic that I peeled and then I sliced in half. So those are going in. You don't have to add that. I just know that my family loves garlic, so add more, add less, whatever you want. I add in whole black peppercorns, 2 ours, maybe about that much. Then I'm gonna add in a couple bay leaves. And last step is water. Basically, you wanna just add enough so that it covers everything that's in your crock pot. Right, that was about 8 cups of water. So now I'm just going to kind of smush everything down. And for reference, this is a 6 quart. I have a bigger one too, but this 6 quart works perfect. I'm gonna put the lid on this and cook it on low for 10 to 12 hours. It's been about 8 hours and this is what we're looking like. I am going to just give this a good little stir and let it continue to cook on low overnight. And in the morning, I'll check back in and let you see what we're working with then. It's the next morning, and this is now what our broth is looking like. This has been cooking for about 18 hours now. It could go longer if you wanted it to. I'm fine with this is turning out so far. So now I'm going to let this sit in the crock pot most of the day because I have to go to work. But it will cool off enough. It is 7:45 a.m. So this is gonna hang out here in the crock pot. I'll put the lid on it, unplug it and everything, and then I'll come back and show you how I take it from this to in the freezer so that I can use it later in the winter. So I'll be back. We are on to the last steps for this chicken broth. So this has been sitting, it's nice and cool now. Next, I am going to start straining this into a bowl. So I have a colander with a few pieces of cheesecloth. It's just gonna sit right inside this bowl. I'm gonna take a few minutes to get this moved from the crock pot over to the colander and get all of the pieces strained out. Okay, now everything is out of the crock pot, and in a perfect situation, I wouldn't have to do this next step, but this is what I've got. So the liquid is officially at the bottom of the colander now, so I'm going to let this drip for a couple minutes, seconds, whatever, and then I'm gonna move it to a smaller bowl so that it can finish draining all the way and we get every last drop of this delicious chicken broth. So we're ready for the very last step before putting this into the freezer. This broth is delicious looking and ready to go. So all I do, and I've been doing this for a long time, is I put them in gallon-sized Ziploc bags or quarts. Today I'm going to use a quart. So each one gets labeled. Use this little bag holder to hold it open, and then each one of these bags is going to get 2 cups of broth. And bonus, because I messed up on my last batch and I grabbed jalapeno peppers instead of bell peppers, I have this jar of very, very spicy that I'm going to add half a cup to. Okay, each bag is going to get 2 cups of the regular chicken broth, and as a bonus, it's going to get half a cup of the spicy. And all that's left to do is to seal it up. So try to get as much air out as you can, seal it up, and then these are going to go into the refrigerator. I put them in a Pyrex dish, and I will store them flat. So whenever they go into the freezer, they don't take up very much space. They stack, and then when you're ready to use them, you just pull it out of the freezer and you're ready to go. Chicken broth in a Ziploc, ready for the freezer. We ended up with 12 cups of chicken broth. Not too bad for a $5 rotisserie chicken and some scraps of leftover vegetables. It can be used at any time for soups or stews or casseroles. Our family loves it, and it's an absolute staple. So give it a try and stay rooted.